Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE NXT TakeOver Wargames 2019, which took place on the 24th of November 2019. I attended this event live at Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, and it was freaking awesome. Awesome. My day up until nothing really to talk about during the day. I had some Giordano's deep dish individual pizza. It was all right, but that small of a deep dish is like a huge percentage of crust versus actual pizza, like the part with all the toppings and sauce and all of that. So yeah, that ratio is way off, and so I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it was a regular sized pizza. So maybe I'll do that in the afternoon tomorrow on Sunday or on Monday. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, that was pretty much the only thing I did during the day. I watched some of the Orville season 2, episode 5. It was an episode where it was like the world. What was it? It was something about it was about birthdays and astrology, and finding a new planet, or making first contact with a planet, and then there's a whole thing with their beliefs based on their version of astrology and all that kind of stuff. It's a pretty good episode. I liked it. Every episode of the Orville I've really liked. I'm just slowly making my way through season 2 since I have them all downloaded on Hulu, so I can watch them when I don't have Wi-Fi, or I don't want to use, or I just don't want to, either when I don't have internet or I just don't want to use my cellular data to watch stuff. I'll watch the Orville and some other stuff. I have some other stuff downloaded on there too. But anyway, yeah, that was pretty much all today. I slept a lot just to kind of recover, and I sort of did kind of recover from all the travel in the last few days. It's starting to catch up with me a little bit, and I was tempted to book another overnight trip to see NXT at Full Sail this coming week. I do have a ticket for that show, but it's a lot. The flights, being Thanksgiving week, the flights are a lot more expensive than they have been the last few weeks. So I think, I might still be tempted. We'll see if the prices are still about where they are right now. Tomorrow, I just might do it, but we'll see how it all goes. That reminds me, I need to call Frontier because I got an email saying that there's something going on with my flight, December 4th to see out to Orlando. So we'll see what's going on with that. But anyway, let's talk about tonight's NXT TakeOver. First, on the kickoff show, this is the first time that they've had a match on the kickoff show, because the last TakeOver, the NXT was not live on Wednesdays, and so they would take the opportunity of the kickoff or the pre-show to film the next week's episode. But since next week's episode is live, they didn't need to do that, and so they had this match on streamed live as part of the kickoff, and that was really cool. This kickoff match was Angel Garza versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Awesome match. One of the best kickoff show matches in my recent memory, for sure. And definitely worth checking out. So that the whole kickoff, I believe, is on YouTube. It ought to be. Otherwise, it's on the WWE network. But yeah, go check that out. The show itself, at the top of the show, we see that Mia, or actually, I think this might have been part of the kickoff, but Mia Yim was attacked backstage and she gets taken away in an ambulance, and Rhea insists that Dakota take her place, and Dakota is kind of reluctant about it, but just okay. And I noticed, she was wearing NWO pants. I don't know if that means anything at all, but I feel like Dakota Kai is the one who attacked Mia, so that she could get that spot in the match, and that would be great. So we have everybody make their entrances and all of that. We start off with Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. I forget the order everybody entered. Well, Team Baszler had the advantage, so I think it was Bianca who entered next, and then Rhea entered second for her team. Then we got Shayna was the last to enter out of her team, so that means the third one to enter was... I have the shirt to look at right there. Kaylee Ray entered third for Team Baszler. And then Dakota Kai would have entered third. But as soon as she exited her cage, she turned right around and attacked Tegan, beat the crap out of her, slammed her leg in the door of the cage like 20, 30 times, it seemed like. Was taken out of the arena, but then she came back in and attacked Tegan again. It was amazing. It was the best, most exciting thing that could have happened there, and I loved it. And I'm fully in support of Dakota Kai, because her friends are not very good friends, because they didn't even have her as part of their team on SmackDown last night. It had to be the final straw. It's like they bring in Toni Storm, who Rhea Ripley doesn't even like, instead of Dakota to join them. Jerks. So I say this is a face turn. It was a reverse heel turn. It was turning the people who have wronged her heel. So Dakota Kai, in my opinion, Dakota Kai is the only face in the entire NXT women's division at the moment, because all of her former friends are jerks. So anyway, Dakota Kai is not in the match. Tegan Nox not in the match, and so Wargames officially begins, because they don't have replacements. It's a 4-on-2 match, which was ridiculous. Rhea, when she entered, she brought in all kinds of weapons, and Kaylee also brought in a bunch of weapons. And then Shayna, she enters after all the Dakota and Tegan stuff goes down, and she's just like kind of skipping along, strolling, and that kind of I kind of love Shayna a little bit now. Like, that really, I mean, I liked her before, but now I really like her. That was really funny, and that was great. And yeah. So anyway, somehow, okay, Shayna, when she first gets in there, she tries to handcuff Rhea to the ropes. But Rhea fights her way out of it, and this is a great setup for what would come down the line. But there's a bunch of chairs, kendo sticks, trash can lids. There's a one Rhea just swats. Okay, it looked like Kaylee Ray was getting the jump on Rhea, and Rhea just grabs a trash can and swats her out of the sky. It was amazing. I love that. And then we had Io Shirai hit a huge moonsault off the top of the cage, hitting hitting Candice LeRae and Bianca Belair. It seemed like she mostly hit Bianca's hair, which would have been really painful for Bianca. But another amazing finish for a Rhea Ripley victory. So she got caught in that is it the Kirishita clutch? I don't know the name of that. Kurufima? Is it Kurush? I don't know. Shayna's finisher. I've talked about, okay. This finish was amazing. But I think I've mentioned this before, but I feel like Shayna Baszler, if her finisher is not strong, she wins with it a lot, but it takes so long for the person to tap out when they're in it. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a match end within like 5 seconds of her putting it on. Like, if it's really an effective submission move, then the person having it applied to them should be like, oh crap, this is not good, and like have to give up immediately. I think that's a really effective submission move. But this finisher, it always takes so long. And I think that's like, I feel like that's the main thing that is wrong with it. That's like not the only thing, but if it was a finisher that people couldn't resist so much, it would be a lot more effective, I think. But anyway, Rhea, she still has those handcuffs, and she's in that submission move, and she handcuffs herself to Shayna, and Shayna's like, oh, what the hell? And Rhea gets out of it, hits her with the riptide onto the chairs that she had just set up before that, and gets the win. That was freaking awesome. She hits her finisher while handcuffed to her opponent, and by doing the handcuff, she got out of it. That is so cool. That is so cool. That was my favorite thing of the whole night. Aside from Angel Garza tearing off his pants, of course. But anyway, victory for the massively handicapped Team Ripley. I mean, it's Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae win this match against 4 other people, against 5 other people, basically, because Dakota was not helping them at all. So that was great. And that's all I have to talk about this. No, there's 3 more matches. We had the triple threats between Killian Dane, Damian Priest, and Pete Dunne. This was a really good match. I can't think of specifics from it, but I did really like it. It just had whatever had to follow that women's War Games match was going to be, well, at least for me, like I could not focus. I was like still just buzzing from that first match. Like, how awesome was that? But this match is to determine who will fight Adam Cole tomorrow night on Survivor Series for the NXT Championship. So Pete Dunne won this match. And so that's going to be pretty killer. We've seen Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne before, but I think the last time we saw that was when Adam Cole was defending the North American Championship at that point. Pete Dunne has not held that championship yet. And I feel like that was that SummerSlam last year? TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Maybe I could look that up. I'm going to look that up because that's it's good to have some history when talking about TakeOver, when talking about NXT. Okay, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Let's see, results. We have Bianca Belair defeated Deonna Purrazzo. Oh, these are... Oh, okay. When did that happen? Pete Dunne was on the kickoff, or rather the pre-show for the next week's episode. Okay, so this was when Ricochet defeated Adam Cole to become the champion. So that must mean that at the previous TakeOver... No, the previous TakeOver is when they won it. No, okay. It was at Chicago too. It must have been at Chicago too. Let's see results. There was no North American Championship match on there. It must have been on a regular episode of... Yeah, it must have been on a regular episode leading up to SummerSlam, I think. But, yeah, so that's going to be... My point is, that's going to be a great match. Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne for the NXT Championship. I think Adam Cole is kind of screwed because he got murdered in the War Games match. Oh, my God. But we'll get to that in a second. Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle. Awesome match. There was some moment there. There's some great stuff. All of the references to other wrestlers, I enjoyed that. He was kind of taking Velveteen Dream's shtick there a little bit by doing that, but it was more so doing the moves as opposed to doing their gimmick stuff. So it wasn't gimmick infringement. It wasn't gimmick infringement. Is that... I think that's the right way to say that. But anyway, Finn Balor ended up winning with the what is it? What is the name of that move? The inverted DDT. It's a year. I don't know what year it is, and if I say what I think it is, it's going to be wrong. So I'm not going to say what it is. Instead, I'm going to look it up. Let's see. We have, what is Finn Balor? Since I'm looking it up, I think it's 1894. Finisher name. No, it is not called. I was way off. What is the 1890? That's probably not what it's called either. It's the Bloody Sunday is the move that I'm thinking of. No, come on. Okay. Let's go to the Pro Wrestling Wiki page. He has okay, here's the thing. There's somebody behind me that is like getting all like smarky about it. He's like, oh, he's becoming Devlin. He's becoming Prince Devlin. He's getting all Devlin. I love Prince Devlin. That's not his name. It's Devitt. Jordan Devlin is a different human being. It's Devitt. If you're gonna be all know-it-all, you should actually know it all, maybe, or at least know some of it. Why this? It's not 1894. 1916. And that is that is the name of that move. So I was wrong, and also I was wrong in two ways, but like right, kind of like half right, sort of a little bit. So Oh, well. Anyway, Finn Balor won the match. That's the important thing. There was no like stipulation. They didn't like earn anything from. He didn't earn anything from winning this match other than maybe being the next in line to challenge for a championship. Maybe not necessarily the championship, but we'll see what happens. And that brings us to War Games, the men's War Games match. Undisputed Era versus Team Ciampa. Ciampa started for his team. We only got the 3 team members out there, assuming that the final team member would just make their entrance and make their identity known when it was time for the 4th member to the last entrant in the match to join. So let's see. I don't remember specific spots or anything, but we had Tommaso Ciampa and Roderick Strong start the match. It started off strong. It started off Ciampa. But then Kyle O'Reilly joined the battle next. And then Dominik Dijakovic came in to even the odds. Okay, so during this match, I looked up everybody's weights. And this is approximate, if I'm remembering correctly, because I thought, these 3 guys on Team Ciampa probably weigh the same as all of Undisputed Era. So if I'm remembering correctly, at least from their Wikipedia pages, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong are both 200 pounds even. And then Bobby Fish, I believe, is 197, and Adam Cole was 210 pounds, something like that. So that means altogether they are 807 pounds. I think that's right. Yes. Then over on the other side, I think this is off because I think Ciampa has to be way more than 200 pounds now. But he was like on his Wikipedia page is like 201, something like that. Dijakovic 270, and then Keith Lee is like 300 even, maybe something like that, or maybe 320. I think it's 320. Let's see. Keith Lee. Let's see. 320. All right. So, 290 plus another 200. 590 is plus another 200. 790 pounds versus 807 pounds. Very close in weight just with these 3 guys. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But then, okay. Bobby Fish is the third to enter. Then Keith Lee is the third to enter for his team. Adam Cole is the last one to enter. He's the first one to grab any weapons. And the only weapons that are brought into the ring or foreign objects are tables. So I really like that difference between the men and women's matches. The women's match had everything except tables. They had kendo sticks, they had chairs, they had the trash cans, like I mentioned, they had the handcuffs, all that stuff. No tables. The men's match only had tables. So before Adam Cole was able to get into the ring, Ciampa threw him out the door, off of the steps or whatever, into a table that was up against the barricade. And so Adam Cole is already just killed at the beginning of his entry in the match. And then he just gets beat up more and more the rest of the thing. The final entrant, the timer goes down, the War Games sound effects play, and there's a little bit of a delay. We're waiting. Who's it gonna be? Whatever. My singing of the theme, not very good. Kevin Owens has got his old NXT shirt on. with the duct tape KO on the front, NXT on the back. Comes on down. He's the fourth member of Team Ciampa, and it's awesome. Everybody goes crazy. It's super cool. It's just great. The whole rest of the match is fantastic. It was already fantastic to begin with. We end up with so much stuff that I could talk about, but man, it was great. The final sequence was a series of table spots. It's one guy threw a table after another. Kevin Owens hits a big old frog splash through a table. We get Keith Lee. Oh, how did that happen? He put somebody else through a table. Then we get the final straw. Oh, man. Tommaso Ciampa murders Adam Cole off of the top of the cage through two tables. It is ridiculous. I don't even know what the name of that I don't know what the name of that move was. But it was nuts. And I'm surprised Adam Cole is still able to walk after just that move, let alone everything else he's been through this week so far. And he still has to defend his championship against Pete Dunne tomorrow. Ridiculous. Ciampa gets the pin after that move. His team wins, and all is good in the world of NXT, except for the fact that Dakota Kai turned on everybody and is going to be going on some type of rampage for the next many, many weeks. Also exciting is that they announced that the next TakeOver will be in Portland on February 16th. I am all about that. I'm super excited. I'm going to be refreshing the tickets page to see when I can get tickets. And if they're going to do a tour right before that, I'm also all about doing another Northwest tour road trip to see all the NXT shows that week. So, yeah, I am very excited. I'm definitely going to make my way out for that. And I'll just ignore whatever other pay-per-view is that week, is that month. I don't care about the main roster pay-per-views really anymore unless they're with the takeovers. And in that case, that might only be WrestleMania week. We'll see how the schedule pans out next year for the rest of the year. So yeah, I am super excited for Survivor Series. Let's take a look at the card there. And, cause the last episode I talked about my War Games predictions. So now let's talk about my Survivor Series predictions and hopes. So, bringing up the Wikipedia page here, I can't remember off the top of my head who's on all the teams and all of that. So let's see what's on the schedule. Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio. I hope Rey wins. Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Shayna Baszler. Shayna won me over there tonight, even more. So I got to root for Shayna there. You know, I'm going to be rooting for NXT for all this. Screw it. Even if there are other teams that I like more, which isn't the case anyway, but I'm rooting for NXT. All of these. So Shayna Baszler, I hope she wins. She's going to kill both of them. Viking Raiders versus the New Day versus Undisputed Era. I'm going to root for Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, even though they are at a huge disadvantage with how much they were beaten up last night. And I guess Shayna is also at a disadvantage because she got beaten up pretty well there too. But I think it's just going to motivate her more to kick some ass. Women's 5-on-5-on-5. Team Raw, Charlotte, Natalya, Asuka, Kairi, and Sarah Logan. That's a pretty good team. I mean, they've got the tag team champions on there. versus Team SmackDown, Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans and Nikki Cross. I'll be rooting for Nikki Cross out of all of them. And rooting for Kairi Sane out of everybody on the Raw team. And Team NXT, I don't think this is accurate. I don't think this is what the team is going to be. There's no way this is what the team is going to be. Actually, I guess it could. Now that I'm looking at it. Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, of course, those two. But Tegan Nox, Mia Yim, and Dakota Kai, all three of them are out of the picture after the events of tonight. So apparently it's going to be Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Toni Storm. So that is a hell of a team. We'll see if they can get along with each other, but they are at a huge disadvantage. All of them except for Toni were in this War Games match. So we'll see. But I mean, I think Rhea could just win the whole thing just by herself. And I'm absolutely rooting for Rhea to have another awesome, super unique finish to win this match. That would be badass. The men's 5-on-5-on-5, we have Team Raw, Seth Rollins. Okay, so I'm rooting for Rhea Ripley to be the lone survivor. If it's one of the other teams, Nikki would be my pick for SmackDown, and Kairi is my pick for Raw. There we go. That's how I'll do those predictions. Then we have Team Raw. For the men's 5-on-5-on-5, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Ricochet, and Kevin Owens. But that might not be the case. I think Andrade will probably take Kevin Owens' place, and Kevin will probably be on Team NXT. So out of those five, I think I want Ricochet to be the lone survivor, but I don't want that team to win. Team SmackDown, I also don't want this team to win. But Roman Reigns, Mustafa Ali, Braun Strowman, King Corbin, and Shorty G. I think I'd want Mustafa Ali to be the lone survivor out of that team. And then we have Team NXT. None of this team has been announced, but if I had to guess, Ciampa, Ciampa, Dijakovic, Keith Lee, all of Undisputed Era, they're out because they have other matches. Kevin Owens, and then surprise number 5, John Morrison. I said I wanted John Morrison to be number 4 on the War Games team. I'm going to keep my pick. I'm going to keep my surprise pick as him. That he's going to come out there and be part of Team NXT. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And if that is the case, then I'm rooting for Keith Lee to be the lone survivor on this hand. Or, you know what? No, it'll be absolutely fitting for Ciampa. His music plays "You Will Not Survive," ringing through the halls as he is the lone survivor. That would be badass. Then we have AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Roderick Strong. I'm rooting for Roderick Strong, but again, he's at a huge disadvantage because he just had a match at War Games. I'm going to be happy with this match no matter who wins, as long as there is a winner. It's just going to be awesome. I think that is going to be the match of the night. Then we have The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. The Fiend's got to win this match. It's his first defense after winning the Universal Championship. He's got to win. Like, a decisive victory. And then Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne. I think Pete has a really strong chance of winning the NXT Championship here. So, Adam Cole's great. I hope that he doesn't die. He hasn't already. I kind of hope that Pete can just finish it quick so that Adam Cole doesn't have to get hurt more than he has to. Or if Adam Cole can finish it quick as well, that would be good too. But this is a great opportunity to showcase both of these guys and show just how awesome they are to the people who normally don't watch NXT. Now they're seeing NXT guys and girls here on a main pay-per-view, on a Big Four pay-per-view. That's pretty exciting. So yeah, that's it. I'm really looking forward to Survivor Series. The War Games weekend continues. TakeOver weekend. Now TakeOver has their own weekends. We're gonna see. Man, what if they start going out on the road for the weekly shows, since they're doing this their own separate tour anyway for the pay-per-view. I guess we'll see when tickets go on sale and all of that, because usually in like February or March they aren't able to go to Full Sail for whatever reason. So that would make sense. That would be a good time to move to going on the road. And if that's the case, I'm going to hold off on doing the Disney annual pass thing, since they might not be at Full Sail all the time soon. But that is it for right now. I am so excited. I'll have another episode. I forgot to record episodes talking about this week's Survivor and this week's Mandalorian. So I might do those tomorrow, but I'll be doing the NXT Champions meet and greet. That's going to be awesome. And then also doing the breakfast and another meet and greet thing during that breakfast right after that. So I'll probably have some time between that and getting over to Survivor Series. So there might be some other episodes before the Survivor Series episode, but probably the next episode on the timeline will be talking about Survivor Series. So let me know what your predictions are and what you liked and didn't like about War Games by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.